Speaking of threats to the election, the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, has assembled a government group known as the Election Threats Task Force. And here was part of the announcement.
Today, fulfilling that charge means confronting the full range of threats to our elections. That includes continuing our work through this task force, our U.S. Attorney's offices, and our FBI offices across the country to investigate, disrupt, and combat unlawful threats against those who administer our elections. It includes the Civil Rights Division's essential work to enforce federal voting rights laws and to challenge discriminatory restrictions on access to the ballot. It includes the work of the Criminal Division's Public Integrity Section and our U.S. Attorney's offices to investigate and prosecute election crimes. And it includes our National Security Divisions and the FBI's work to protect our elections from national security threats, including malign foreign influence and cyber-enabled campaigns. The Justice Department recognizes the urgency of these threats, and we are prepared to confront them.
Two things here. Please, 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 anyone point me to any discriminatory restrictions on access to ballots. Please, anything. Show me any evidence that there's discrimination at any voting booth or polling location, anything. Because after all this talk for years, I've not heard one single example, not one case. We've not been shown one thing. And quite frankly, it doesn't even make sense. The Voting Rights Act was passed 60 years ago. The 15th Amendment was ratified in 1870, giving blacks the right to vote. And the 19th Amendment was ratified in 1920, giving women the right to vote. In other words, voting discrimination has been illegal for about 100 years. But this is the Democrats just race baiting for the 1 billionth time. And now the Attorney General also alluded to the national security threats by foreign influence and cyber-enabled campaigns. Are we seriously doing this again? Are we going to blame the Russians for a third election in a row for meddling in the election or colluding with Donald Trump? People, just use some critical thinking. We actually have, the United States has a short list of enemies in the world. Enemies by competition and enemies by ideology. China, Russia, North Korea, Iran. It's not that many. Who do you think Chairman Xi wants to occupy the Oval Office? Who do you think Vladimir Putin wants to be our president? Okay. Who do you think Iran wants leading the United States? How about Kim Jong-un? What does he think? I mean, just think about the last 8 years and you've got your answer. Trump intimidated all of these foreign leaders with economic threats and unpredictable militaristic force. Putin stayed put. Xi was on his heels. Iran was on its knees. And Kim was flirting with capitalism. Then Biden comes into office and Iran attacks Israel. Russia attacks Ukraine. China inches ever closer to capturing Taiwan. And North Korea is back to testing nuclear missiles. So let me spell it out for the liberals, because I know it's difficult for you to keep up with this. We're not buying your election interference hoaxes anymore because they never made sense to begin with. We know that our enemies want Joe Biden in office because he's weak and movable, whereas Trump was strong and immovable. If there's going to be any foreign influence or meddling, it would be to extend the Biden presidency, not to put Trump into office. Thank you for watching today. I want to make sure that you stay informed on the news and the biblical response to it. So please do yourself and us a favor and hit the subscribe button before you go. And then we'd also love for you to check out WeTheFreeShow.com to grab yourself some merch to help spread the word of We The Free. And right now we're going to put a video on the screen that we think that you'll love. So now Go and be that salt and light, and we'll see you next time.